You woke me up. God said, don't let the deeds fool you. Don't let the deeds of the person that you've been guided to cut off fool you. I choose to be guided. I choose to be guided. My mission is to help you reach your life's true purpose. I'm here to save the lost souls that are inside of us, humankind, collective. So not all the time is everything going to seem good. It's always good. There's going to be some of the moves that we have to make, that our flesh has to make, that we, the human vessel, is directed to do. Sometimes it's not going to feel good. It's not going to sound good. It's not going to make sense based on everything that we've known before. Based on everything we've known before. Y'all, look, I make no apologies. I laughed. Hey, you woke me up. And then rolled me out the bed. I had to roll out the bed on this Saturday morning. And talk to you. It was in my sleep. Because you've been guided to do something that you've been avoided to do. Relationship, situationship, job. I remember a friend of mine. He used to play for Fred Hammonds. Friend of mine I grew up with. I remember, and shout out, may God rest his soul. I know he's enjoying himself now. He's really playing the drums. A friend of mine was guided to quit his job. And he went to the pastor and he said to the pastor that he was guided to quit his job. He had a family to take care of. I don't think he had been married that long. The pastor said to him, God didn't tell you that. Okay? And in his soul, he knew what God had told him, so he needed to stand on that for the sake of his peace. But the pastor, whose word was very cherished, said, God didn't tell you that. So who done woke me up this morning? You beautiful soul. I get it. Somebody said, you didn't talk too much. You didn't try to verify what you've been guided to do, and everybody has told you that it doesn't make sense, that you're crazy. Don't do this. Don't do that. God done woke me up to say, don't let the deeds fool you. So, see what has happened, who you're pulling back from, what you're pulling back from. There's been an offer or something that has been given to you at this perfect time, and that deed has caused you to question what divine has said to you. You woke me up this morning. God told me that, I couldn't even slap on a wig, okay? I couldn't even comb my own hair and pull it down, well, I got it in twists, but pull it up or do whatever. I had to get up Don't fix your eyelash. Don't do anything. Get up and say, don't let the deeds fool you. So the drummer did follow God. Did quit his job. And he left the church. That church. And chose to go it alone. Chose to follow God. He said, you're crazy if you do that. You have a family. You are to take care of your family. And da, 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 da. Let me tell you something. In this era, in this new era, as we transition into the new world, the new earth, that we are responsible of changing, which is why tables are being turned. There are going to be things that we're going to have to drop it like it's hot in order for us to have peace within our own souls. Before our souls are starting to really rumble, which is why you're rumbling, which is why you're feeling conflicted, because your soul, like I said, you are carrying an entity energy. Literally, you are an entity energy, darling, and as an entity energy, you happen to have arms and legs. That's what you happen to have. But your soul doesn't. Your soul is inside. Your soul is carrying the baton and was praying to God, connected with you, energetically, connected with you, so that, because you had what it needed at this point in its journey. But the only way it can fulfill the mission is if you become in partnership with it and listen, following the map quest that it came with, which is the spirit, the instructions, the divine course that was aligned with it via the vision of the divine source energy, God. I'm just saying. So, baby, I understand. You've been conflicted. In my book, Pregnant in the Spirit, How to Birth a Life of True Purpose, where it outlines and introduces the process of spiritual pregnancy, the divine gave a clear understanding and an explanation and understanding of what to expect while on the journey. And in the second period, it says clearly, listening to follow instructions. No, listening and following instructions. That is, oh my gosh, it has to be, especially when you're intentionally deciding to do this. That is very tough. I get it. It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. You woke me up this morning. I had to roll out of bed. I went to use the restroom. I was going to slap a wig on or something, and Divine's like, tell him, don't let the deeds fool you. See, that is a tactic of the attachments that are aligned with the person that you're dealing with. Because, see, as we are carrying the souls, there are individuals, there are entity energies that we have created, not knowing, due to our ignorance, due to not knowing who we were. Divine said to me, you've created more than flesh and blood. Yeah. So these wandering spirits are wandering, and they have found places that have been very low vibrational in order for it to control. And in some cases, it has been an influx of these entity energy attachments that have attached to the domain of your soul. And some souls have escaped because you have been guided and you've refused to listen, and it won't linger any longer with you. It's done. It said, I'm done. I'm out. Gotta go. I can't even do this one. I'd rather leave and go come back again. What does that mean for you? That person that is completely, they call that, scripturally, they call that a pharaoh energy. A person's heart had become hardened. But back in the mythology, the Egyptian and Roman days, the pharaohs were the kings, were the queens and the kings of old. So that is not just as it pertains to one or another, but it is also that Pharaoh heart, that Pharaoh that heart was hardened, that refused to be guided. That and you are guided. You have been guided. And you hear clearly. What they call that, clairaudient? You may not call it clairaudient, tomato, same thing. You hear the spirit, and the spirit has told you, but the direction has confused yourself. Notice I said yourself. The me of you is your soul. Yourself. It has confused yourself. Yourself like, oh, hell no. I know you didn't tell me that. God didn't tell me that. God didn't tell me that. There's been this whole ideology of God didn't tell me something because it doesn't feel good. If you're in a place that seems a little bit ruckus for too long, then God didn't tell you that, right? God didn't tell you that. God wouldn't do that to you. God wouldn't cause that on you. But when there is change and effective change, and change is getting ready to happen, there are towers that fall in our life, baby. You woke me up this morning. Got me up all night. But I wasn't singing love songs. God said, get up out the bed and tell them, don't let the deeds fool you. You done got confused. Don't forget. Don't forget. From whence you come. With them. You already know. What's this? Oh, God. I will. Thank you, baby. I will have a wonderful day. Absolutely not. Oh, wow. I'm glad that you asked that question. Someone said, am I an atheist? Oh, gosh. Absolutely not. But listen, let me explain something to you. Okay. Now I got it. Now I have to talk about the atheists, quote unquote. The ones who most religious would say they were atheists for how they addressed God. Okay, God say tell the story first, okay? Let me see which one. Oh, okay. So, because I have a couple. Okay, first, okay. All right, first I'm going to tell the one. I was guided to go to the library one day at a most inopportune time. This was in my early, intentionally guided days. And I'm on my way to actually work out, and I had a class to go to, one of my workout classes that I was trying to make it to, and already I was running behind. And the Spirit told me to go to the library. So I didn't do it right away. I'm like, oh my gosh. I even passed the street that I was supposed to turn down on, and I kept going, and it was so strong. I hurried up. I turned around in the parking lot and got to getting there. Okay. So I went to the library that I was guided to. And so I went because I had nothing myself to do, but I went being obedient, and I come in the library and I sit. It was this little section they had in the beginning and in the front of computers. So I sat there, but I sat there facing the door and wondering, who am I here for? Please come. whoever you are, because I got a class to get to. So I'm there and I'm like wanting the person to come. And this lady, a Russian young lady, walks up to me with such vibrance, almost as if she was there to see me. And she's just upset. And she sits right beside the empty computer chair next to me. And she starts running her mouth. And she's talking. And she says, as she's talking, I see that she's talking, it seems about God. I know you ain't talking about God because I've been following God, not necessarily intentionally or even knowingly as to what I was doing, but I've been doing it all my life since I was little. I've always had this exclusive relationship. So she's talking. You know. And I'm like, boy, at that time, I'm ready. It's like hopscotch. I'm ready to jump in so that I can save this young lady. Let her, lead her to God. We about to lead you to Christ today. Because, girl, you need it. Because I'm so sorry that you feel that way because my God is not like that. What you talk, because she was talking about the issues of the world. If there is a God, then if there is no God, because if there is a God, then all these people would not be hungry. If there was a God, then this. And if there was a God. So I wanted to, no. Don't worry. God wants a relationship with you. God wants a relationship with you. Because my relationship is so good. It's like he's your friend. A friend. A friend. A friend of mine, yours. After all the world in the world, oh, it's just a friend. So I'm getting her ready, and God said to me, "Listen, let her talk." So I listened. I was obedient, and I listened intentfully. When she was done expressing how there cannot be no God, if I said to her what I was guided to say to her, that young lady felt the way she felt. One would call her an atheist, but she was not an atheist. She was someone who was hurt. She was someone who was hurt. Hurt, very hurt. Her heart was broken. Her soul was yearning and hurt because it's too much pain for there to be a God, is what she thought. There's too much going on in this world for there to be a God. There can't be a God. So what we have to understand is that a lot of times it's the way that we've defined God that people do not use that word that we've created to address God because of how it's been defined. Because God is love. God is truly love. God is all love, and God is the balance. But God is something that, for the most part, in indoctrination, has not been defined as such. God is divine source energy. When I was writing Convos with God, Make It Make Sense, Please, in which I did not know that I was going to be writing that book. That was not on my to-do list. I did not know. But I was prompted and guided into that. As we flow, many things will come and come to us. And as I was doing that on the first day, one of the first things that God said to me, I am the highest level of consciousness. I am the highest level of consciousness, and you're just like me. I love my God. And I understand I am the balance. we are having a human experience. And God said, I create on that same day, I created the game of life, and it was meant to be fun. God was gaslit a long time ago. The picture they painted, God said, if you think that I would give you an ultimatum to love me, then you got me all wrong. That's not me. Why would I do that? You are me. You're experiencing this life on earth, and you are being called. You're being called on this life on earth to discover what it is you are to add and subtract from yourself so that you can come into the alignment of what Jesus said, that you, greater were the works you do than what I've done. I do what I do by way of the one who sent me. Started the movement of freedom between us and God. It was early. It's taken some centuries. But there's a mass awakening going on. There's a global transformation going on. So, divine source energy is IE. If you know in that literature, that means also known as, if you would, God. But I choose to better use that. So again, do not get it confused. Do not get it confused. And you must remember, what did God tell you? What have you been guided to do that you have completely refused because of what you've been taught, because of how you have interpreted the scripture, how it has been interpreted for you, and you've aligned with it, and it's been that way. But you have to go with what, in order for you to have peace, because again, you could do whatever you want, literally. God said, I don't have rules. There's rules to the game, but there's not rules between me and you. That part. There's nothing that happened between the pouring of me into you. It didn't become contaminated. Nobody contaminated the purification of me into you. Except there has been, not except, but there has been, on that same day, God said, you've created more than flesh and blood. You've created many devils. You've created more than flesh and blood because you didn't know who you were. You didn't know how powerful you were. That wasn't the discussion of us. That part of us was really suppressed. You owe no man but to love them. God said, meet people where they are and keep the same love heart posture, because right now we've got to clean up this playing field that we call earth. We've got to clean it up so that they can get ready for the future, so that they can really live heaven on earth. And then they will say, just think of this as Martin Luther King started the movement. And God said, tell you what God told me. Within the first 6 months of my first sabbatical, when I was writing Pregnant in the Spirit, God said, Dr. Martin Luther, Jesus is like Dr. Martin Luther King. They both started a movement for humankind. And it's, yeah, we're still getting there. But we're making great progress. And right now there's tables being turned over. It's bringing us to the knees as a collective. It's causing us to hit the knees, to have to, look, you want to be guided because you have no other answer. But who woke me up this morning? Whoever you are, you know what God has told you, and you keep going back and forth and keep looking at what's in front of you and what you're seeing and what feels good to your ego. And the divine is saying, you gotta cut it. Gotta cut it. That's the message. You gotta cut it. Because God told you. God already done informed you. So that you can find peace, so that you can get into alignment and start moving forward. God is wanting to catapult you. I'll tell you this. This is why in the journey, don't draw conclusions on the conclusion. Because I remember in 2010, before the homeless, the other homeless experience, right? Before that, which I don't know, I think that was more so like a vacation. It was a trip because it's just been amazing. So before that, I remember when I think I was doing the book Pregnant in the Spirit, How to Birth a Life of True Purpose. And you can get that on Amazon. I invite you to, because it gives you the spiritual pregnancy process so that you understand what to expect while on the journey. But I remember God saying, because we hold on to those big things, I'm going to catapult you. And I was so super excited that God was going to catapult me. And then God said, sent me to the dictionary and said, okay, mother, you're okay. I already know. I already know.
I checked it. He has a large prostate.
Oh.
That's what it is. I looked it up, so I got some stuff.
Okay.
And guess what you told him? The main thing is the healing.
Pardon?
Guess what the main thing healing?
What?
What are you?
The garlic.
Yes.
I told you. Garlic. Garlic, y'all. Y'all better take that garlic. And don't worry about smelling like garlic. You just gonna swallow it. That's what you're gonna do. I'm live, mother. So, the garlic. Yeah, she was giving me a testimony. I had invited someone who was dealing with high blood pressure, the kidneys. And they don't like the medication, and I would advise you not to. So I gave them some things to take, oil of oregano, and I really, that garlic, cut that smash it, and the cloves, smash it, cut it up, and swallow it, put it on a spoon, swallow it and just take it with some juice, some water, something, take it, okay? And watch the performer, the miracle of garlic, okay? And I smell like Chanel, and I don't have any problems with the garlic. The garlic will balance you out. Ladies, if you're going through menopause or something, try to find the symptoms, because it won't be there like that. That is a purifier, okay? So, that young lady began at the library. The young lady ended up being my friend. We ended up literally going to work out and doing our workouts and walking through Birmingham, Michigan, and we'd do 7 miles, 8 miles, and we'd walk together, and she was hopping around and jumping around. She was so happy just to know that a friend, oh yeah, a friend of mine and yours. Da, 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 da. Okay, y'all woke me up, so you get me how you get it. So listen, you have got to understand, baby, 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 baby. You gotta cut it. You already know. It's going to be all right, though. Don't draw conclusions on the conclusion. It's definitely going to be all right. Okay, y'all. Can I get some coffee or something? Because it seemed like, okay, listen. Let me turn. Alexa, play non-royalty music, I think. Because, YouTube will cut me off. Because I think we're going to be here for just a second. Let's see what happens here. And I don't need cards to give a word. But they're fun. And at least, and let me tell you what I don't do. I don't like, I prefer not to have meaningless conversations. I used to have to. I was with someone before, and it was my own insecurity, though. Because if I wanted to be quiet, I should have just been quiet. But instead, I wanted to appease them, so I would look things up online and try to find entertainment so I could find something to talk about, because I didn't have nothing to talk about, because it didn't seem like that was the life that, that was what they wanted to hear. And the people that they engaged with, all they did was gossip and talk about a bunch of stuff in the world, and I didn't really care about what was going on in the world. I just did it. But that was my own insecurity. See, the Spirit said, be yourself in every room that you step in, and let the chips fall where they may, baby. But be yourself. It's getting hot in here. That is hot. I think Mother came in and turned the heat up. So anyway, yeah. No, it's not that. Whoever's being a smarty. Say you're going through a private summer, lady. Be honest. But actually, I'm not. It did just get hot. I was hot in the first place. I don't even know why I did that. Yeah. So I need some. I would love to have some coffee, and then I'm gonna get Alexa right, and she's gonna tell us about some music. She'll give us some music. Alexa, play music that is, what you call it? No. Alexa. Play songs that are non-royalty.
Here's a station based on Find You by Flying Royalty.
No, Alexa. Non-royalty music.
Here's a station based on More Time by Psalm 100.
Okay, Alexa. Hush your mouth. Don't even say anything. It's too early in the morning to be going back and forth. I have this video I'm going to have to show you guys where Alexa was on James Brown tip, and she would not stop no matter what. No matter what I said to her. She act like she did not listen to me. All right, Alexa, volume 2, because I don't want them to flag me. Guess what they just said? Now, I'm sitting over here trying to get Alexa to do something. Then I told her to be quiet, okay? But of course, she doesn't respond to that. So this is what they just said. You got to be ready to win. You got to be ready to win at any cost. And you got to be ready to take any loss. What you think is a loss? Oh, that's what I was telling y'all about. Thank you for whoever said, finish the story about catapulting. I heard you, baby. Finish the story about catapulting. She got off track. So listen, catapulting. So I was super duper excited because I was going to be catapulted. And then when the Spirit said, go look it up, go look up the process of catapult. So as I'm looking up the process of catapult, it was like, wah, wah, wah. Because the process of catapult is that you have to be pulled back. that device that is, and it's really detailed, but that device, you have to be pulled back really hard. The further back you pull, the further back you're restricted, the further it hurts, the more it hurts, the further you go. Boom, right? When I was healing from the betrayal and the lies and the deception and that was around me by those that I loved and considered family, God said, in order to heal, you're going to have to go deeper into the pain. So during my meditation, I would be sitting down meditating, and I would be awakened by the divine saying, "You ready to connect?" And my spirit and I would get up and I would weep. Early on, I would weep, and God would show me stuff in the I'm like, oh, sometimes why you show me that? I don't want to know that. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? They did what? They were with who? You there? You done been there. But it's okay, baby. Let it all out. Go ahead and cry. Go ahead. Let it all out. Put your big drawers on. I'm talking to a male vessel. A male soul. So, male, female, however you looking on this side. Okay? They. Male energy. Yeah. You gotta cut it. Yep. Don't let the deeds fool you. Because that's what happens. You know how when somebody feels like you about to go and they feel they about to lose something and they start coming towards you. No. They desperate. No. Not every time does someone come in that type of energy of, oh God, please don't. Please don't go. Not everybody come like that. Some of them come very cunning, and they come plotting, and they come with deeds and extra sweet and extra nice and extra this and to woo you back. That energy can look very settled. They may come with a trick of, okay, I don't care, go ahead and go. So now you pull forward because you think that, oh, you don't care? You don't care? You don't care if I leave? When divine tell you to leave and move, don't worry about nothing that anybody talking about. I'm not worried about what you're talking about, what you're doing, or anything. The energy from your current perspective is more powerful than anything you say or do. Some people have aligned with some people literally from the beginning for what they can do for them. You never quantified your value. You never allowed for them to come towards you. You never allowed for them to reciprocate. They didn't even have to. They didn't even have to reciprocate. You know why? Because at that time in your shadow, all love and light, self, shadow, self, at that time, you were walking and dealing out of insecurity. See, I've been there because when I was sitting there and I'm looking out the window and I'm like, God, but why? You know, I loved them. And I did. And I did walk in pure love. There was no malicious nor intent. There was no unfaithfulness. There was nothing like that on my part at all. So I couldn't understand who would do somebody like this. And as I'm looking out the window, I could just feel the energy of God like, girl, if you don't get up from that window, it's okay. Because each time I would go into my crying spell, it was like I get like 20 minutes or something because we were working on a project. We were co-creating. So God, come on, baby. You okay? Get up. You okay? Just get up. Let's go. Let's keep going. You're going to be all right. but I would learn something and be given greater wisdom. And at the same time, my heart was being protected and shielded so that I could come out and steal pure love and understanding and knowing, but with boundaries. Love in this plane and this game, you have to have, you have to know how to move in the room that you are choosing to be in, and just know when to exit when you need to. With love. Okay? No judgment. Keep your judgment. You keep your judgment off people's journey, off people's life, because you do not know. I don't care who it is. And yes, in the shadow, you are doing things intentionally. You do things intentionally, but in the shadow, that is the frequency that you're on. And on that frequency, if that's all you know, if that's what you were born into, for many people, they were born into toxicity. They were born into a bunch of gossip. They were born into it. Some people created entity energies intentionally for the purpose of ill. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. So that's in the goal of the soul. It's going to be in the class that we're going to have. And we're going to talk about the goal of the soul, and we can understand better what the soul is. So as I looked out that window, and I had to be honest. So God was saying to me, so some of those times that you did all the extra stuff, you knew that it was sacrificing what you know you were guided to do. And you did it because you didn't want to ruffle any feathers. You didn't want to look like you weren't a team player. You didn't want to look like you were Superwoman. And not that you were trying to have the praise, but you really didn't want people to go without. You didn't want them to not be if you were invited, you wanted to go, you didn't want to miss what you wanted to spend time with the family, because you are starting to understand that family is the family time, even if it's not just your children or whatever, that it is very important, and you know that it is, but you also know that how you were being guided, and you chose not to do that. You chose to do when you know you couldn't. And yeah, you stepped up at the end and you started saying, no, I'm not doing that. And sometimes you were bullied into it. Well, you gonna do it if I say so. And then you would do it, and then you thought it was cute when certain things happen. You know, all of that. You did that. So you did that part. So let's own something. So in the midst of your healing, you are also coming to understand the role that you actually played in this journey aspect, and what you're there for. Yes, you're our love, but what are you here for? You're here to heal some things inside of you as well. You couldn't even have gotten me to admit that there was any type of insecurity, because for one, when I knew what I knew and then told that it wasn't, and then said that was called insecurity, no, my insecurity was not being able to just walk out. And even that was all in divine order, because I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have had the hell of a beautiful, absolutely amazing celestial experience in the journey in my car. I wouldn't have had, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have grown how I did. And there are some of you who you're being called to go through. I'm going to put that playlist up. I'm going to start a new playlist. The young lady with her and her husband, that they took a walk. They left their corporate jobs, the car and everything, and took it on foot, baby, and just started walking, because God said so. That's how they were guided. And now, wow, wow, I just got chills. What was produced was so amazing. Only but God. But God. As a human with limited brain, we cannot define God. Oh, wow. Is that what they're thinking? My personal, all religions are man-made. Yes, they are. You're right, darling. Man-made, not from God. Absolutely. I am an ex-Muslim. That's right. You are right. As a human with limited brain, we cannot define God. Well, we can describe, and we can, but we have limited. The brain is what we make it to, but yeah. But when you are following God and you are co-creating with God, God will teach you all things, and God also meets you where you are. Because in combos with God, there are things that have been revealed that all I could do was weep. And it was as it was channeled through me. So, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Accept no limitations at all. And God knows what you are able to receive and what you're not able to receive. And God will meet you where you are. God woke me up this morning. Got me up all night. And I wasn't singing love songs. I was asleep. I was asleep. It's been so busy. God said, get up. There's a word for somebody. And I had to get up. Don't let the deeds fool you. They're like running. Running, 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 running. From losing you. Because they knew why they chose you in the beginning and why they knew what part they played. So you got to be careful. Some people in these days and age, and it's not just happening in Africa and in all these places or in the bayou, okay? There are people that are literally putting love spells on people. And that, oh, I don't believe in that. Ain't nothing going to happen to me. All right. All right. But what most people don't understand is that when you are suppressed and you are sedated through an indoctrination, you are a house for entities in many cases because you don't know, but deeper than that. I used to go to my aunt's hair salon. And this was a typical conversation that you may hear. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Girl, did you hear what happened with so-and-so? Yeah. Really? Oh, man. Just pray for him. Just pray for him, baby. Just pray for him. God will, but you know what God said? People are being mean to people because God said. People will have division and judgment in their hearts because of what they think God said, because of what is how they interpret the scripture. And they roughing and just mad. I asked an evangelist once, why are you so mad though? Why are you always frowning and like you want, what are you doing? Ooh. I remember leaving my church the first time and then going to Marvin Winans' church. And I cried the whole time because it was a different type of, it offered more freedom in energy. I felt a more calming energy where it wasn't a bondage. It wasn't so hell damnation. At least that's not what they talked about, but the religion itself does. So I get it. But yeah, I appreciate your comments. And I appreciate you being here. I saw you here yesterday too. I think it was you yesterday. I think so. I love you. I love all of you. I want some coffee. I'm sure I'll be back because I want some coffee. I literally rolled out of bed. You woke me up. God said, tell them, don't let the deeds fool you. And when God is showing you the truth of somebody, don't let because they did this, that, and the third cause you to question what you're being guided to understand. Because there has been such people are not knowing who they were, and literally entity energies that we've created out of pain, out of anger. We don't realize that our mind is so powerful, that we are so powerful as spirit, that we were actually creating these entities. We were creating actual entities, like being born in the spirit realm, that are only destroyed once we know that they're there. So they know that, you don't. So now it's time for us to turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. Think, turn up the volume. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Ah! That just went over somebody's head. Turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. See? I am music and I love house. Oh, 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 oh. Out of all the world, out of all the love in the world. And it's so sad, you know, when somebody, for us to say that something is love, and the description that we have of it is so contrary of love, which clarifies then that we have no idea of what love is, what true love is. Okay? Because God said, I wouldn't give you an ultimatum to love me. What would you guys, what would you call that? And how you guys have defined it, what would you call it? I'd call it an abusive relationship. I'd call it human trafficking by standard of how it is guided. Like, you can do this, you get this, if you do this, and this. And you better do it. Because the crime is so heinous, you know? It's like, you know, I always give this scenario of Harriet Tubman movie. When she went back to get her sister. And when she went back to get her sister said, no, I'm good. Master treat me good. All right now, y'all. I'm going to get my coffee. And Mother's back. I'm going to get my coffee. And I'm going to come back, okay? Because I think I'm on the roll today. I love you guys. Remember, I choose to be guided. Transformation, it is so. Have a wonderful, amazing, create an amazing morning. And thank you for waking me up, because whoever you are, please listen. Don't let this be in vain, because I had to stop my sleep and get out of bed with the lights off and turn the light on so I could tell you what God said. I love you guys. Have a good day.